Hi guys, today I'm going to make kale chips with just a few ingredients. When you buy kale chips at the store, it can get really expensive. Making your kale chips at home is a very affordable way to eat this healthy snack. All you need is a bunch of kale, salt, oil, and a few spices. You want to wash your kale really well. We'll need to take the leaves off the stem. We don't want to cook the hard stem. So grab it at the top and just tear off the stem. Comes off really easily. Tear the leaf into small pieces. About this size. Don't throw out the stems. They're great in soups and smoothies. These are going to make great kale chips. The kale has to be thoroughly dried before baking. You could use a salad spinner to dry the kale thoroughly. If you don't have a salad spinner, put your kale on a nice clean cloth and cover it with another cloth and just dry. This whole bunch of organic kale was about $3. Now, if you buy the already made kale chip at the store, it's going to cost you more than 3 times that. If the kale is wet, it's going to steam in the oven instead of getting nice and crispy. So it's very important to get the kale nice and dry. Kale is one of my least favorite vegetables, but I will eat kale chips. That's about the only way I'll eat this nutritious vegetable. And it's completely worth the time and effort to clean and dry the kale because it's such a nutrient-packed vegetable. And I never feel guilty about eating too many kale chips. So these look dry and they're ready to bake. I'm gonna drizzle the kale with some olive oil and rub the oil onto the leaves. Make sure to rub it onto every single leaf really, really well. All the kale should be nicely coated with the oil. Take your time and do this right and you'll have perfectly crispy chips. Here I have some salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. Just gonna mix it, sprinkle it over top, and mix really well. You could also add some chili powder to the kale if you like heat. Okay, now the kale is coated evenly. I have a foil-lined baking sheet and I've put a rack on top. I'm going to place the kale in a single layer. It's very important not to overcrowd them. You want them to get nice and crispy. You have to leave room around the kale so it doesn't steam, it just gets crispy. If you don't have a rack, you can put the kale directly on the foil. Just make sure not to overcrowd them. This looks good. I'm gonna put the kale in a 300-degree oven and check back in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna put some of the kale on a plate and microwave it. I just want to see how the kale is going to turn out. After 1 minute and 15 seconds, I had to take this out of the microwave because this piece caught on fire. So just a tip, do not microwave your kale. However, they are super crispy and they're really good, but I think it's a safety hazard. You could try maybe doing it for 45 seconds or 1 minute, but I would just be safe and use the oven. So after 10 minutes, this is what the kale looks like. Some of the smaller pieces are crispy, but it could use a couple more minutes in the oven. I'm just going to turn the pan around and put it back in the oven for a few more minutes. You have to watch them carefully because if you don't, they have a tendency to burn very quickly. So after 2 more minutes, I took the kale out of the oven. They're all crispy. Just leave it on the rack for about 3 minutes and they will crisp up even more. And then it's ready to eat. I'm gonna eat one right now because they look so good. I hope you heard that. It was super crunchy. That's how crunchy it is. And it's delicious. It's the perfect amount of salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. As far as snacks go, this has to be one of the healthiest. And I have to say tastiest. It tastes like a green potato chip. I could really eat this whole tray in just a few minutes. And they're all crispy. None of them are chewy. You can hear how crispy they are. I better put these on a plate before I eat them all and make my next batch. This is from the one batch I just made. Look at the amount of kale chips. If you bought this at a store pre-made, the bag would cost you about $8, which is pretty insane for kale. I think it's completely worth it to make your own. It tastes delicious, and I would say this is one good serving. In my bowl, I have lots of kale left, and I can probably make about 3 more batches out of this. So you're getting 4 good servings from my one bunch of organic kale that cost me about $3. I think that's a really good deal, and this is a great snack to try. And again, if you don't want to spend the time cutting up your kale, washing your kale, you can always buy the pre-washed cut up kale in the bags in your grocery store. That'll save you a lot of time. I really hope you'll try this delicious and healthy snack. Kale is packed with nutrients. It's so good for you. And this is a really tasty way to enjoy kale. Please subscribe, and thanks for watching.